And now, a very rare conversation with that elusive 26-year-old Harvard dropout Mark Zuckerberg, the driving force behind a global revolution, 500 million users tonight. And a couple of questions. Is this a colossus that will mark the end of privacy? Or is the force driving a new kind of democracy and freedom around the planet? 500 million. You are the third largest country in the world now, officially? What'd you do to celebrate? Did you do one? Yes.
The main thing that we did to celebrate here was every employee at Facebook took a photo of themselves with a sign that they made saying thanks to the people who use the service, right? Because it's really the people who make the service.
It is your dream to be the founding father. Ha, I'm joking. You're the founding father of what? Globally. Fill in the blank.
You know, the way we think about what we're doing is just that there's this incredible movement on the internet towards people being empowered to share what they want and to stay connected with people. We certainly weren't the first people to do this.
It's just the conversation. You're not designing the end result.
No, I mean, people make that up for themselves. Right? And that's the power of democracy in these systems, is that when you give everyone a voice and give people power, the system usually ends up in a really good place. So what we view our role as is giving people that power.
Famously, Zuckerberg's little college campus networking site grew so fast, he was offered $1 billion by Yahoo 2 years later. And he said no.
We really just believe in what we're doing. Right? It was a difficult decision.
But you can believe in what you're doing and take astronomical amounts of money for it, too.
Well, we just felt that doing that and going down that path would not help us build Facebook out to what we thought it could be.
What does it mean to you to be a billionaire right now?
Well, I'm not. I mean, the company is a private company, so I don't really have access to any money like that.
I read once that you said you did want a jet. You wanted your own plane.
I don't think I ever said that.
I know it's a private company. How much profit? How much income? How much profit?
No, we're not going to answer that question. That's the advantage of being a private company.
Want to give us a hint?
No.
The business world is salivating over the possibility of a public stock offering, an IPO.
When it makes sense. We're not running the company to do that. We're running the company to serve more people.
But all of this has come at a stormy and legal price for Zuckerberg. From college acquaintances and friends who said he took ideas and went off on his own, including an old roommate who pushed for the right to be co-founder.
What do you think you could have done differently in those days that might have prevented the splintering and accusation in friendships?
You know, when I started the site when I was 19, I didn't know much about business.
But you now,
then.
Looking back, if you could tell that 19-year-old kid something, what would you tell him?
I think that the things that you learn along the way are part of what makes you who you are.
Anything you would have done differently?
I mean, I would have done a lot of things differently. I hope that instead of making the mistakes that I made, I would have made different mistakes. But, you know, I mean, I think that this has been an extremely educational experience.
Some of it bruising for you inside?
But I think all mistakes are, right? I mean, when you break up with a girlfriend or have a failed relationship, I mean, those things are bruising, but you learn from that, and that's part of what makes you who you are.
Even this week, another case. His team was in court because a man was saying that Zuckerberg had given him a contract giving him 84% of the company.
We are quite sure that we did not sign a contract that says that they have any right to ownership over Facebook.
Another rough patch for Zuckerberg, an outcry from users about Facebook and privacy.
Yeah, we've made mistakes, for sure.
Some pretty complicated default settings. If you don't change them, you could send your private photos and postings, not just to friends, but everyone. He says they work to change that.
Do you think they're clear now? Do you think they're clear, simple? And the people keep saying, just have an opt-in on every single thing. What about just changing the default setting, I guess, is the bottom line question.
I think the right thing is to make it so that certain information by default is always private.
So no plan to change default?
No, I think it's set in the way that helps people share, the way that most people want to on the site.
Our back and forth went on a long time. You can watch it online.
Yeah, I think that they're a lot better.
But there's no question the famously camera-shy Mark Zuckerberg has created a global phenomenon which has gone from 440 employees to 1,600 in just 2 years.
You know all their names?
No, I do not know 1,000 people's names.
What is it to be 26
So people just went out to lunch wherever
and
they
sitting
wanted.
astride this thing? What is it?
I think it's really exciting, right? I mean, a lot of the people at this company are part of the first generation of people who really grew up with computers and the internet. What are you working on, Mackenday?
I say you're getting up there. You're worried about the 15-year-olds coming and taking your hair?
You know, 15-year-olds say the funniest things. I mean, we ask, you know, I was talking to a group of high school students, and the person actually told me that she thought that email was too slow. And my reaction was, are you kidding? Email is instantaneous.
So do you hate interviews?
I like how you just say that with a completely straight face.
Yep.
Do I feel like I hate interviews?
I'm just asking.
No.
I'm looking for transparency. I think the answer may be yes.